So here are my four principles which can help us boost our coping mechanisms and thereby keep great mental health. The first one is a very proactive thing, and it is all about relationships. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the problems is that we do not confide. हम लोग अपने दिल खोलकर बोलते नहीं है. कई बार हम लोग अपने प्रॉब्लम्स को, अपनी समस्याओं को, अपनी चैलेंजेस को अपने दिमाग में लेके भूत जैसे घूमते रहते हैं. Ladies and gentlemen, very often we're just carrying and lugging around all these problems, anxieties, challenges, frustrations in our head. And how long can we handle them by ourselves? There is a great need that we give a vent to all of our thoughts, feelings, frustrations, anxieties. There's a great need that we speak up. And therefore, I feel one of the greatest assets we can have for great mental health is a very close friend to whom we can speak our heart. Guys, it could be a girlfriend. I know some of you smiling. Girls, it could be a boyfriend. I know, girls, you are giving a coy smile. Men, it could be your wife. Ladies, it could be your husbands. It could be your parents. It could be your siblings. It could be a colleague. But someone who is a dear, close friend to whom we can open up. दिल खाली करने से, दिल की बात खुल के बोलने से कम 70%, 70% हल्का लगने लगता है. Ladies and gentlemen, just opening up and confiding and speaking your feelings and your heart out allows you to feel lighter. Over 70% of the burden on the head is gone simply by opening and speaking up in a very heartfelt conversation. So we need someone with whom we can openly talk. And that relationship, that friend, is our coping mechanism. That support is the greatest asset for our mental health. But not only we need someone, we should also be a friend to someone in a way that someone can come and openly confide in us. Which is why I say everyone we meet is fighting a tough battle that we know nothing about. Be kind, be loving, be supportive in a way that they feel completely okay to speak up their heart. And which is why one of the proactive tips to boost our coping mechanism is invest in relationships. There is no substitute to good friends. There is no substitute to openly speaking your heart. बोलना सीखो, दिल को खोल के बोलना सीखो. अंदर लेके घूमते मत रहो. वो अंदर लेके घूमते रहेंगे. It will come to a level you will not just be helpless. You will start becoming hopeless. And in that state of hopelessness, if you don't speak up, it will lead to further hopelessness. And if you still don't speak up, it can go to further hopelessness. And so bad. I saw my aunt burn herself to death. I saw my friend's son, his medical mark sheet, being topper of the university, kept next to his dead body. ये लोग बोल पाते तो? If only they would have opened up their heart and spoken their heart. Well, maybe my aunt would still be with me. Maybe my friend's son would still be doing his postgrad and contributing to the world by healing other people with his medical expertise. I have an humble appeal. Look for that friend. If you have one, blessed are you. Open your heart on a regular basis. If you don't have one, look for one and invest in that relationship. I'm sure you're wondering, it's okay to say it, but लोग ऐसे नहीं होते ना. People can sometimes judge you. People don't keep confidence. You know how gossip is, right? And people start gossiping. Hey, you know what? That guy was and then it's all over town, right? Sometimes we do fear. We want anonymity. We want that people don't spread the news around. Of course, which is why we need trustworthy friends. But I'm sure you may feel that you don't have someone. What do you do then? Hang on till we come to our second tip on boosting our coping mechanism. When we don't have a trustworthy friend where confidentiality becomes an issue, or when we don't have the trustworthy friend because possibly that person doesn't have the ability to give us that advice or give us that feeling of comfort, what if we don't find that person? What if we do have that person but we don't want them to know what we are going through? My second suggestion is this. What if we had an app? What if we had a helpline where your anonymity could be maintained, but you could speak to trained experts, where you could speak to guides who can help you declutter your mind, can give you a different take, a different perspective on the issue that you're going through. Because when we are thinking, we're in the same spiral, in the same loop. We can't think differently when we are helpless. जब हम लोग हेल्पलेस हो जाते हैं तो अलग तरीके से सोच ही नहीं सकते. When we are hopeless, we can't think differently. So we need somebody else to make us see that ray of light, a ray of hope. If it's not an individual physical person because of, you know, want of anonymity, then I think we need a online platform, an app, or a website, or a helpline to call, where while our anonymity is maintained, we can get that help. I was recently communicating with 3 or 4 individuals, a gentleman called Mr. Mikul Patel and his good wife, Mrs. Heli Patel. Mikul was a graduate from IIT Roorkee, did his MBA from IIM Ahmedabad. So Mikul and Heli came together along with another friend from IIT Roorkee, Mr. Rahul, and then they joined hand with a psychologist, Miss Poonam Malpani. The 4 of them, Rahul, Poonam, Heli, and Mikul, started an online platform called Moodcafe. Anytime you feel low, anytime you feel overwhelmed, anytime you feel anxious, anytime you feel frustrated, anytime you feel mentally you're losing your balance, anytime you feel tremendous lack of motivation and inspiration, anytime you feel completely bogged down by situations, problems, and challenges around you, and you need to speak to someone, but you don't have anyone around to talk to, or you have someone, but you're not sure you want to talk to them for confidentiality reasons. In such a case, these 4 individuals have come up with this concept called Moodcafe. They have an Android app, they have a website, I suppose, they're on Facebook, Instagram, you can Google them, look them up. But the interesting part is they have trained experts on the other side. If you're chatting to them or you're speaking to them on the helpline, trained experts will give you their perspectives. When you share your problem, as long as you want to talk to them, they're willing to listen to you. And they're going to help you by changing your perspective from that hopelessness to try and make you hopeful, from that helplessness to see if there is some help that can be offered to you to bring that balance back. And it's quite amazing that what if you someone reaches this level that they just want to end their lives? They have a 24/7 suicide helpline, which is free. They have collaborated with a couple of people and they run a 24/7 free suicide prevention helpline. Anybody who's going through something like this can just call them at that last moment. Now you may say, but if someone's going to commit suicide, how are they going to call them at the last moment? Which is why we're doing this Facebook Live on the World Suicide Prevention Day, so that you can look up Moodcafe and you can suggest that and spread the word around so people are aware such an opportunity or such a facility is there where you can now confide and open up your heart and seek help anonymously. They may even, for your mental health, not necessarily suicide, but even to bring you out of that depression or that loneliness or that anxiety, or the challenge that you're facing internally. They may suggest some self-help resources, they may suggest some expert counseling, one-on-one face-to-face counseling, and it can definitely help. So I do truly feel that something like this is a blessing. Of course, they're based out of Ahmedabad, they live here in India, and I'm sure there are facilities like this across the globe, because one student practically commits suicide every hour here in India. You know, it's quite amazing that the second largest cause of death in 15 to 29-year-olds across the globe is suicide. And which is why I think this is a great need. And I feel my second way to boost our coping mechanism and stabilize our mental health is this kind of anonymous online help, chat with trained experts, uh, helplines where we can speak, counseling sessions if the need be, either online or one on one. And such help can tremendously benefit us in terms of boosting our morale and giving us that strength, inner strength, to fight back our challenges. The third aspect of boosting our coping mechanism is, I think, reading inspirational and motivational books. And I also think, because the online world is so big today, the online platform is so big today, whether it's Facebook, whether it's Instagram, whether it is Twitter, whether it is YouTube, these massive platforms where there's so much material available, so much motivational stuff available, so much inspiration available. As soon as we feel low, we may have our choice speakers, we may have our choice gurus, we may have our choice experts, by listening to whom we feel motivated, by listening to whom we feel uplifted, by listening to whom we feel energized. We should regularly, on a proactive basis, listen to podcasts, watch videos, or read books that can keep us going. This is, of course, not when somebody goes to the extreme end of ending their lives. Can't read a book or watch a video there. But that did happen. We posted a video on Facebook. Reposted a video this morning where we were talking about an individual who wanted to give up his life in Cincinnati, Ohio, in the United States of America. He was a university student. And as he was in that moment of committing suicide, hanging himself, his head is in the noose, and there was a notification on his phone, a WhatsApp notification. The guy happened to see that notification. It happened to be one of the videos we had made, and he watched those videos for 4 to 8 hours non-stop, all online stuff available from our channels online, and decided I shouldn't commit suicide. Decided to keep going. Which is why I think that the third thing to boost our coping mechanism is to look at online motivational material as well. It's a proactive thing to constantly keep looking for good material so that we feel inspired, motivated. Challenges and problems are going to be there for everybody, like I said earlier, but we'll be stronger to face that. One of the popular platforms that brings real stories from all over the world, where people wanting to end their lives but kept fighting because of support, is Goldcast. Goldcast keeps posting so many different videos of people who are like in major depression, abused, they lost practically everything. Some of them became physically incapacitated, but because of good support and motivation, they kept going. So my third factor or third principle is look for good material to read, watch, and listen to so that our spirits are high. And last but not the least, my fourth principle that I wanted to bring up to all of you is spirituality. As a proactive measure, there is a great need that all of us start practicing spirituality. Spirituality not only declutters our mind, meditation, mindfulness, chanting, prayer, doesn't simply declutter of our mind of the anxieties or pressures that we go through, of the stress that we go through. And not only does it uplift our spirits when we feel low and depressed, I think a spiritual process gives us tremendous resilience and gives us tremendous fortitude, gives us tremendous inner strength, to stand strong in the midst of all storms. And therefore, one of my favorite quotes, which I've very often brought up in our live sessions, is pain is inevitable, misery or suffering is optional. What happens to us, we can't stop that. The factors beyond us. But how we take what happens to us is completely in our hands. And which is why look at these four things at all times. Number one, relationships, having someone with whom we can openly talk. If confidentiality becomes an issue, look at online help in terms of expert guides who can guide us and help us declutter our mind and give different perspectives on our situation to make us see that ray of hope, that ray of light. Number three, look for good reading material, good hearing material, good watching material, which will keep our spirits high, which will keep us motivated and inspired to keep going in the middle of all chaos and mayhem. And number four, look at a good spiritual process in a way that you stay spiritually connected with these four by our side as a coping mechanism. I think we can certainly make our mental health strong, balanced, robust, and sturdy. And then, yes, if we find somebody who's really gone very low, where they're probably thinking of something extreme, let us become uh, agents of hope by trying to help them by either being a friend or at least referring them to a platform like Moodcafe, where they can talk to someone and get that help. Thank you very much, and goodbye.